Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Well, what an absolutely beautiful morning. It's practically perfect. Although the sky isn't blue, it feels quite amazing out here. Well, first and foremost, guys, I just want to say how much Judy and I are so touched and grateful for all the beautiful messages and comments that you guys made, regarding Judy's mom, Ruth, passing. It was really a blessing to us, and we just want to share our thanks and our gratitude to you and how much that really did minister to us. And all the folks that write in great scriptures there and great comments, we just really value it. So thank you so, so much for that. Well, guys, the world is changing and it's happening in a big, big way. With this banking crisis, the articles that I was reading today, it is getting serious. Now, not too long ago, we talked about how there were 150 regional banks. These small, medium banks were in big, big trouble. And now we're seeing this contagion is starting to spread even to some of the bigger banks. When we're watching PacWest stock crash some 54% to 60% in a day in a traditional market, that is absolutely massive. And we're watching other banks teetering as a result. Now, the thing is this, what we got to think about. Here you got the Federal Reserve hiking interest rates another 25 basis points, knowing that this is going to put some significant pressure on a lot of these banks, and to the point where we're going to literally see implosion after implosion after implosion, and the contagion is actually spreading to some of the bigger banks. You have to ask yourself, guys, what are they doing here? Is there some kind of an intention afloat? Because they can see exactly what they're doing. And it really actually, when you consider that, you got to think to yourself, my goodness, like who are the economists that are actually recommending all this stuff? And on top of that, you got Janet Yellen out there basically saying, holy moly, the U.S. could default if Congress doesn't raise the debt ceiling and by what, June 1st or something like that. And so here we are again. Look, the only way out of our problem is to accumulate more debt? You've got to be kidding. I mean, how devalued are you going to push this system? And the truth is, guys, the moment that the Federal Reserve is restricted from even issuing $1, it is game over, because that is what the central bank is there for, to issue debt. That is the only thing that they can do. And you are going to watch the printing press just go on like crazy. And a result of that, do you not think that we're going to see significant hyperinflation? In fact, Jerome Powell just came out and confirmed that major hyperinflation is on the way. And so, guys, the way I'm kind of looking at it is this. They are preparing us for this transition, and they know exactly what they're doing. I don't think any of this is happening by, just happenstance or circumstance. No, guys, there is a program afoot in my way of thinking, because they know the consequences of these actions. Printing money like crazy, raising interest rates to combat the inflation that they themselves are creating, to the point where they know it's going to cause all these smaller and regional banks to literally collapse, and it's going to have a cascading effect in the broader economy. Don't kid yourself. And I believe genuinely that they're doing it to usher us in to this new digital system. And guys, when they do, watch and see what's going to take place. You are going to witness one of the greatest and most phenomenal industrial changes that we have ever experienced. The infrastructure of how things work, right down to the very core base level, is going to be so fundamentally changed that the way society actually transacts is going to be so, so different. Now, there are going to be some great positives in that, and obviously there's going to be some great negatives in that. Now, the one thing that we in this space have been hoping that we can actually avoid is that fourth element to the monetary instruments, social control. Monetary instruments to you are made up of a few things, right? They're made up of what? A store of value, a unit of account, a medium of exchange. Well, they're wanting to add this social control, this fourth element through the issuance of all these CBDCs. And for us in the West, we're like, hey, wait a second here. Our anonymity matters to us. Our ability to transact without being constantly supervised matters to us. There is something to be said about that. And of course, our liberty, how we spend and what we spend and when we spend and where we spend makes a difference. And we don't want to be controlled in that capacity. But this is what they're throwing out there. They're talking about programming their monetary policy right into the currency. And that's where we got to get out in front of this. And look, if we're silent and we don't, then we're going to get a situation that most of us are not going to really want to be a part of. That's at least what I believe. But you can literally see the handwriting on the wall, and it has to be done with intention. These people can't be that oblivious to the consequences of these decisions that they themselves are making. They're not, guys. They are absolutely not. I don't believe it for a second. I really believe that what they're doing here is a controlled demolition of this prior economy to bring us into this new economy, this new digital age with all of these global connections. We think the world is small now, that, we're in a global village now. Wait and see when we go into a digital, how much smaller this world is really going to be. It is going to be mesmerizing, and not just our finances. Of course, that's where it starts, but your healthcare, your identification, your real property rights, and on and on and on. And we've heard what they say, hey, by 2030, you're not going to own anything, and you're going to be happy about that. And in California, what are we watching? Look, they're trying to ban diesel trucks by 2030 now, or the sale of new diesel trucks by 2030 now. All this transport stuff, and then all this and that. And look, that grid goes down in the summertime in California all the time due to people turning on their AC units in the house. Do you think that whole population plugging in all those cars, the grid won't last 10 minutes? So what is their plan there, really? And I think what we're seeing, guys, is social engineering happening right before our very eyes, and we're genuinely being lied to about it. That is really what I believe. Now, how's that all going to play out? How much control and influence do we really have? Really don't know. We really don't know. Why? Because most people are not out there, are not out there, getting their voice out there and this and that. We're reactionary. We're not proactive. We're reactive. In this society, something comes down the pike, then we react to it. We're not proactive and going out there and say, hey, wait a second here. Oh, no. That's not the society that we're interested in building. This is what we're looking for. And yeah, we can implement new technologies to get there, but we're not in for all this control and all this kind of stuff. But guys, that isn't what happens. What happens is the controls come in and then we start reacting to it. Well, in a way, it's a little too late when that transpires, isn't it? And so, guys, that's where we need to be getting out there, especially in this space, and making sure our voice is heard. Patrick McHenry just came out and said, look, within a few months, we're going to be tabling some regulatory, controls over the whole digital asset space. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to be a part of that, you get your pen out, you get your email going, you warm that up, and you start writing into your congressman, your senator, Patrick McHenry himself, and different things, and saying, hey, look, in a very proactive and a very responsible way. Don't come at these guys with a bunch of knives. Nobody listens to that, right? How do they say that? You get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, kind of deal. That's how we have to go about this. Show them the positive benefits of what this space can do if it's given the liberty to absolutely mature and grow without being restricted on every turn. And that's how I kind of see that. So anyway, guys, I sure hoping you're having a fantastic Thursday. And again, we just want to say so much thanks and gratitude for all the love and care and compassion that you showed us. And we're just so grateful for that. So, hey, until later on today, and we have a great video for you. Have a great one and take care.